Hey, it's Rob and welcome to Axel's Garage. I got the big dummy behind the counter. We're up here on the second floor of our house and we're talking today about air conditioning. Well, this year when the temperatures went up and we turned our AC units on, we noticed that we had a little bit of trouble on the second floor of the house with the central air unit maintaining a cold temperature or maintaining the 72 to 74 degrees that we usually keep the house at. In the late afternoon, it started to climb and it would hit 76, 77 degrees, and it wasn't really cooling effectively. So we went out and we changed our filters because we didn't have clean filters to put in when we first turned them on. It was only going about a week or so. We noticed that, so we went out and we go to buy filters. So I went with my wife to Home Depot and we're looking at all the filter selections, and I was going for the cheapest ones like I normally do, and my wife said, well, it's only a couple dollars more, we could get this one that filters out everything under the sun. And they rate those filters in different, one of the ratings is called a MERV rating, and they go from like 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 13, 4, I mean they go really, and the higher the number, the more filtration. Well, when our unit started, and it was only the second floor unit, we have two independent units in the house, one for the first floor, one for the second floor, and it was only the second floor unit that seemed to be struggling a little bit. So, like any good YouTuber, I went on YouTube and I started looking around, and I am going to put a link, if I could find it again, in the description below, of a YouTube video where a guy showed how you can check out your home AC and try to get more efficiency out of it. I don't know if I have a problem. The unit is about 16 years old. They've never been serviced. We've never really had an issue with them other than blowing out some clogged condensate lines that just clogged from insects getting in them or whatever. But other than that, we've never had an issue with it. So I go on YouTube and I look at a video, and the guy says 3 things you can do to make it more efficient. What he did was he took a thermometer very similar to this one, a probe one like this, and you can see that this one is measuring the air in the room right now, and it's slowly going down. It's about 75 degrees up here right now. And it was 74 degrees to be exact, which is where the thermostat was set, and I just kicked it down so that the unit would turn on while I was talking so we could get a reading. And what he did was he got a reading, and he wasn't really concerned with what the actual reading was. He was more concerned with the before and after. So we're going to do our before reading like he did in his video, and if you watch his video, he's got like a couple million views on that video. I'm going to try to do the same thing he did and see if I get any results like he did, or do I have a bigger problem with my unit. So we're going to go to one of the registers and we're going to measure our air temperature coming out. Alright, so we stuck our temperature probe in the register and we let it sit there for about a minute or two until probably closer to 2 minutes, until the temperature stopped dropping where we know where we need to be. So we're at 71.1 degrees. So now if we keep our upstairs at 74 usually, maybe if it feels a little uncomfortable, it might go to 72. Never really lower than 72 is usually comfortable in the house. 71.1 air is not going to get it down when it's really hot out. So it's definitely not as cold as it should be, and to be honest, I don't feel like there's enough air actually coming out. Alright, so 71.1 is our baseline, and like the gentleman said in the video, and I'll link that in the description below if I didn't already tell you that, like he said in his video, your temperature isn't necessarily what we're looking at. It's going to be your change, see if you made a difference and made a change. So I know downstairs, the air coming out downstairs is around 60 degrees. The air coming out up here, 71.1. So there's a difference there. The units are exactly the same. Our upstairs unit and our downstairs unit, the air handler and the condenser outside, they're the same. So what he spoke about was the dirty return grates and dirty filters, and also those really high MERV filters that they restrict a lot of air, and a lot of times you don't get enough airflow through your air handler, and that could cause it to freeze up, which I think is what's happening with mine, because if I turn it off for a couple hours and then turn it back on, it seems like the air coming out gets colder, which could indicate that it's starting to freeze up a little bit. When we turn it off, it thaws, and we turn it back on again, and we're getting some air conditioning, we're getting some better air conditioning. So it could be not enough airflow up through that return to keep those coils clear. We'll check it out. Alright, so the first thing he said to do with the video is to take this return grate, and he said, vacuum it really good, make sure it's clean. We're going to do that now. Mine didn't appear to be too dirty on the outside, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to flop it down and I'm going to see what it looks like on the inside and make sure that it's clean there. Alright, so we'll talk about the filter in 1 second. What I'm going to do is clean this side because the outside looked pretty clean, and I guess my wife must, you know, dust that on a regular basis. Okay, so I vacuumed it out. I did have some dust on this side. There really wasn't much dust on the other side. There was some dust in the gap here. But let me go into some better light.
I changed that a couple of weeks ago.
And yeah, these are only in for a couple weeks. They're very heavy. It almost feels like a blanket on it. And these are one of those higher MERV filters. I wonder if it even says
Right there.
here. What does it say? 9. So this is a 9, and you can see it's a pleated filter. It's almost like a blanket. It seems like it's dirty. Let me hold it up to the light over there. You can't really see too much light through it, and it's only been in about 3 weeks, right?
A little longer.
A little longer, you think? About a month? So, you know what, time gets away from you. So what we did was, we did what the guy said in the video, the first thing, which was vacuum and get all the dust off of there that's inhibiting airflow. And then what he said was to use one of the fiberglass or polyester style filters. These are like the old-fashioned ones. Now what I do remember about these filters is these are the filters that I got with the AC system when I purchased it. So when we had these AC systems installed in the house, these are the filters. We got a whole case of them, and these are the filters that came in. And the guy said change them every 30 days. And after the first year, we used up all the filters, and then we went out and bought some more. And then over time, when you ran to your local hardware store, all they have are these pleated ones in stock that are the higher MERV. They don't have these anywhere locally. So I went online, I ordered these online, and what the gentleman in the video said was that these are actually designed to work with your AC system. These aren't and can restrict flow. So we're going to put this in, and that's his step 2 as to trying to get the most out of your AC system. So step 1 we did was cleaning the grates. Step 2 is going to be this here, putting this filter in. And these are directional as well. We got little arrows on for airflow. So airflow is that way. Alright, and we're going to put it right in. Actually, a little harder to put in. Set that up. Okay. Alright, so just like in the video that I linked and that I'm modeling this after, I'm outside on the side of my house where I have the both of the condenser units. This is my unit for the second floor. So what I'm going to do, just like in the video, we turned it off upstairs at the thermostat. I'm going to pull the power disconnect. Right, this way we don't have anything turning on us. We know it's off. And now I'm going to pull these screws out so that we can get the fan off so we have access to the coils from the inside. So I'll take the fan, I'll flap it like just like that, and in here, all right, the coils look actually clean from the inside. Let me get all this crap out, leaves and stuff. Okay, so you can see the coils on the inside. It sucks the air in this way, so the buildup is going to be on the outside, so they say you want to hose it out from the outside. So now, the guy in the video that we modeled this after, what he did was he used a high concentration of Dawn dish soap in a squirt bottle. So I put about that much Dawn dish soap, the rest water in this spray bottle, and I'm going to spray it in similar to the way he did with the squirt bottle, but I'm going to spray it into the coils right, so that it's getting in between the coils and hopefully making it to the other side. And I'm going to work from the top down and make sure I get it fully saturated. All right, so I killed the trigger on my old squirt bottle because this solution is, I think, a little thick with about 20-25% dish soap. So I got another one, and I'll keep spraying. This one I could actually adjust to get more of a stream, which will be even better. I can really get it in there good. All right, after getting it thoroughly wet down with the dish soap water mixture, they sell a lot of commercial products for this purpose, the coil cleaners. Some of them are nice, eco-friendly, and a lot of people say they don't work. Some of them are caustic and cause damage to the coils, so they say be careful how you use them. And then I thought of something that I have on the shelf in the garage, which is engine degreaser. You want something, they say, that foams, so that you spray it on and then it starts to foam and it pushes through the coils to the outside. This we spray on automotive radiators and AC condensers in automotive use, so I couldn't see it damaging this. So I'm gonna use this just like you would use a coil cleaner. All right, and it took me just about a full can of this to coat everything down. And now we're going to let it sit about 10 minutes. This way the foam can work its way through, and then we'll come back in with the hose and give it a rinse. All right, so we got a hose. We're going to use enough water to rinse this out. We're not going to blast the shit out of it. I got the tip pretty much on a gentle stream. You want to spray through the coils from the top down to the outside, and hopefully Robbie behind the camera here is going to be able to get, maybe there'll be some dirt coming out. I don't know if we'll start seeing anything over there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And dirt, is it dirty? Yeah. Alright, so on this particular unit, it's actually hard to see anything coming out the side without taking the entire unit apart. But you can see right here, right, where there's some dirt on the fins, and that's dirt from water that was blowing through. So it was dirty. 16 years, it's gonna have some dirty, so this has got to hopefully do something. But we'll see. So the process is going to be just to reverse everything, turn the power back on, let it dry out a little bit, and these things are made to get wet. They're out here in the rain. And we'll turn the AC unit back on. We're going to let it run for 24 hours, and then we're going to recheck our temperature back with you in 24 hours. This way we give it a chance to run, and it'll be the same time the next day, so the conditions of the thing running and potentially maybe freezing up a little bit or whatever, all the conditions will be the same. So we can get a good read on whether or not this, plus the filter change, plus the vacuuming out the grates and everything like that, whether it did make a difference like in the video that we are sampling this video after. So we'll be back with you in 24 hours. Okay, so 24 hours later, here I am, and let's see what we got here. 69.4 coming out. So what were we at prior? We were at roughly 71 and change, I think it was. I'll put it up on the screen. I forget what it was. It's been a whole 24 hours, and I forget things. But we were at, let's say, 71 and change. I think it was 71.8 or 71.4 or something like that. So now we're at 69, whatever I just said it was. So we did gain like 2 degrees, or I'll put that up on the screen too. But have you know, while I was doing this, I went to my unit downstairs, to return on my unit downstairs, and I vacuumed the grates just the way I did up here, and I put a new filter in, and I was able to get a 2.5 degree difference downstairs. So I don't think that washing the compressor out actually gave us the difference up here. It was probably just the filter and us being able to get better airflow across the coil with the less restricted filter and cleaning it all up. I think my problem is definitely going to be in my outside AC unit. I definitely have a problem, and I'm going to need service. But at least I did that initial service call. I changed the filter, I cleaned it all out, I cleaned the condenser unit out. So when the service guy comes, you know, I'll be able to tell him, listen, I did all this stuff, and it's still not cold enough. 69 and change or whatever it was up here is not going to be enough when the house is hot on a real hot day. Downstairs, I'm about 10 degrees cooler. So there's definitely a difference between the two units, and it's probably time for service. It's been 16 years, so I probably got an issue going on. When I have my repair guy come, I'll give you an update on the service. But hopefully you enjoyed the video, and you can get yourself a couple of degrees and definitely have your AC running more efficiency. Just like that guy said in the video, it actually worked. We might not have gotten 10 degree difference out of it like he did, but we did see a difference using those, you know, those cheapo filters instead of those the filters that filter. They call them the high efficiency filters. They're actually low efficiency filters, the way I look at it, because they restrict your airflow and they hurt your cooling. 2.5 degrees downstairs, and I didn't touch the condenser unit. Up here, same thing. We got, you know, we got we got more than that. We got, so was it 71 and change? Yeah, no, we got about 2.5. Same thing down here. So anyway, it's a success, but not the success that I was hoping for. So it looks like I'm gonna have to call for service. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next one.